Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are TwoPaperGirls.
We're back with another Top 5 Wednesday, and this week's topic is your top 5 sci-fi/fantasy books. We're doing a joint one, and there's not really much sci-fi on this list because we don't read sci-fi, even though we love like science fiction programming films. Books just not our thing. So we're doing a joint fantasy one because if we did 5 each, we'd just be talking about like Harry Potter and things that everyone says to death. So let's get cracking.
Kicking off at number 5 is the always good but always controversial Pittacus Law with the Fate of 10 series. Fate of 10 series? I'm number 4 series, this is Fate of 10. I may have read this, I may have not. It's been so long, I have no clue where I'm up to. If he could write these books as fast as he wrote the Endgame series, that'd be great, but he hasn't, so I don't really know where I'm up to. But this is really good. It's about a bunch of aliens who are being attacked by a bunch of evil aliens, but they're all teenagers.
Sci-fi.
It is a little bit sci-fi. It's on the list because it's more sci-fi than fantasy.
Yeah.
And this is probably the only sci-fi book that I own that I've enjoyed in an actual series that I'm actually keeping with, because I really do enjoy the characters and like the premise of the story. Because they're like aliens, but they've got a lot of humanity to them. Like the main character falls in love with an English girl and an American girl, just generally a human. And yeah, it's great. I mean, it's just a bit of a cheesy YA like story that's not got anything too complex to it, but there's always a lot of action and it's well written, so I would definitely give it a go.
The next one on our list is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I've got here book 5, City of Lost Souls. This book is fab, and it's an urban fantasy, so it's not your traditional like magic mountains type fantasy, but urban fantasy is great. And this series is just super addictive. It's one that a lot of people talk about, but it's always just fun to mention because especially in fantasy people kind of forget urban fantasy a lot, that it counts, but it does because it's full of mythical creatures, demons and elves and vampires. And I'm sure you know what this series is about. Shadowhunters, be killing demons, lots of fun things. Kind of like Amy was saying with I Am Number 4. It's a bit YA and trashy at times, but the characters are amazing. It's super well written and super addictive. It's just a fab series that we both love.
The next book that I want to talk about is the Gun series by Michael Grant, because I'm on a bit of a Michael Grant hype because I'm reading Silver Stars at the minute, and also he's doing a sequel series to Gone, which is going to be a trilogy, but also I'm quite excited for it. And this book, in a shocking turn of events, is also sci-fi. Turns out there's a dome put on loads of people and you're only in it if you're 16 or under, which is just absolute chaos, and then they start to get powers, and then some kids go really super evil. It's a YA book because it's written for people who are generally that age because you're only under 16, but then also the things that they get up to and as they grow up in the phase, which is the dome, are just getting a bit sick really, so I probably wouldn't recommend it for like 11-year-olds. It's probably like 13 and over, but these books changed my life. I absolutely adored this series. When Light came out, I read it in a day and I was like just in tears because it was such an amazing series, but definitely one of the best sci-fi books that I've ever read.
The fourth one on our list, but more my list because Amy hasn't read this series, is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. And I say read this series, nor have I. I've only read A Darker Shade of Magic, the first book. But as you can see, I'm holding the third book here, A Conjuring of Light, because it's the only one I have with me at the minute. Because I saw it in Waterstones. I was like, I have to buy it because it's so beautiful, and our friend Leah has been hyping it so much on her Twitter because it's like her favourite series in the world, and she's been so excited for this last book to come out. But even though I've only read one book, I have like full faith that the next two, the second and third books, are just as good as the first one. It's just a really unique fantasy world where there's different Londons. There's Red London, which is all full of magic and like super lovely. Then there's White London, where there's like it's a horrible, awful place with lots of evil people and like poverty and people trying to like steal magic. Magic's like a currency. And then Black London, which is like shut down. No one's allowed to go to it because it's like it's where all the evil stuff happens. So they cut off connections, and it follows this character called Kel who can jump between the Londons because not many people can. You're only certain people are allowed or have the ability to, and he has to like take messages between the Londons. And exciting things happen. So yeah, it's just like a really unique take and everything I love, really. So I really need to get around to the second book.
And the last thing that we both have to say is that our top fantasy book series is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas, which I'm showing you this one because this is Empire of Storms, and it's a signed first edition, yo. Picked it up in foils in London last weekend, and I just had to get it because it's signed and it's first edition. It's also our favourite series of fantasy because you've got, oh, I've got a name, Selena. I love this series, I promise. Selena and Dorian and Kale, and they're like little three-way in the castle, and then people kind of join in and kind of ruin it, and it's just breaks your heart and then puts it all back together and frustrates you and betrays you, and it's all what you want out of a book, really. Towards Era Fire, you're starting to get a bit like, we're starting to lose faith a little bit, but Crown of Midnight and the first book, Throne of Glass and Assassin's Blade, amazing books, 5 out of 5 stars.
So those are our top 5, surprisingly sci-fi and fantasy books. We tried to not say really obvious ones like Harry Potter and stuff because people talk about that all the time, including us, especially me, talk about Harry Potter all the time. I was like, do I really need to say it? I think it's implied that like Harry Potter's the top of the list. But we tried to give some that were a bit different that you maybe don't think about as much. Let us know down below those some good sci-fi and fantasy books because we're always on the lookout for other series.
And we'll see you in the next video. Bye!